Benjamin Wheeler, and I'm here with my co-host Anthony Marchetta. Anthony, how are you doing today?
Never been better.
Fantastic. So today on Anthony's suggestion, we're going to try out a game called Ahoy, um, which is a whole lot of things. It's a new game by the makers of Root. Up to 4 players. You play as you different navies, smugglers, and so on, and you try to gain the most fame at the end of a certain amount of time, and then uh, excuse me, sorry, it's apparently there's thing called thinking time, which I wasn't aware of. Uh,
Oh, I just saw.
yeah,
Good to
sure.
know.
There we go. I chose a place to start. Anyway, do I know what it means? Do I know the rules? No, no, I don't know the rules. Uh, I'm going to do that.
Nope,
Can I
neither
do
do
that?
I really. I know very. So this is why we're having the stream. I'll talk while you're picking your actions. So I
Yep.
have been trying to get more. Like my family has been doing started weekly board game nights. We do the very basic family games mostly, but I want to try and get in more interesting board games because there have been two big successes. Trekking the World, which was a Kickstarter game I backed, which is always a huge risk, but it was a lot of fun. And Root, which we played on stream years ago, had a big 4-player game, and I won. I remember this because I won. Now, Root, that doesn't necessarily mean I was the best player. We were all pretty beginner. Like April had played it very little. She was one of the people on the stream, the author A.M. Freeman. But
Hmm.
we were all pretty beginners, so it didn't really mean much that I won. It just so happened that I won, Uh, nevertheless, it was a really fun time, and I got more into it. Played some online games, even won on the online games. I haven't played it in a bit, but because of these two successes of Trekking the World and Root, I'm like, I want to try and get into more interesting games. Right, like real some really less of the typical, Clue, Monopoly, right? Like categories type stuff and more fun
Hmm.
things. All right, my turn. I got 6 minutes. That's not so bad.
Yeah. No, we were chatting before the start.
Yeah, we were chatting. It's really not that bad because we were chatting before the start and you still got your turn done in time without too much trouble.
Yeah.
All right, so
Do I know what I'm doing? No. I chose a pilot.
got it.
Wreckage. I can ignore damage. Anyway.
All right,
Yeah.
I got a cutter. I'm going to play it.
I played a few, board games in my time, as you imagine.
Hmm.
The ones we actually played the most of were like card games, like where you match three of different kinds, sequences, and whatnot. Autism games, if you will, um, which were very enjoyable in their own way. But quite frankly, it's not as exciting for a lot of it. Um, at least compared to something like this. I have a fascination with things like D&D and Root and other things like that. But quite frankly, I never really have enough people to play it. And I don't really care to do randoms just because it's like, I don't know who you are. I don't know, anything about you and I don't like it. But that's just me being a misanthrope, I guess. They're probably gay or something, Anthony, as you do.
Yes. All right, I am slightly confused, but I'm working it out on the fly like you.
Yep.
So when it comes to Ahoy, I did play this game. So Board Game Arena is this actually this website that basically feels illegal. Um,
Hmm.
like I don't have no idea how this is allowed, but it's amazing. Where you could just play games, no one stops you. Yeah.
It's good
Uh,
advertising.
yeah, I suppose that would have to be it, right?
Hmm.
It's I guess that's what I want to do. Okay.
Oh, looks
End
like it's my
turn.
turn again.
Yes. So, yeah, it's good advertising. There are tons and tons of games on this site. When I found it, I was shocked. Honestly, I'm like, that's incredibly cool that this exists. So, all of this is to say, yeah, this is by the creator of Root. So, like I said, it's one of the 2 games I enjoy. Now, I'm looking at a lot of different games. I've been going through some of the gaming channels. Apparently, there is a controversy with some of them too, which is really funny to me. Shut Up and Sit Down is one of the big ones, and apparently, a lot of people don't like them because apparently there's 2 reasons. One of them is that they infamously don't play their games as that much, so they review the games having not played them a ton. And also, there's apparently from going through comments, something political they said or did. I don't really know what the something is, and it's unclear if they were taking a stand against leftism or like thank you. They were it's unclear if they were taking a stand like against leftism or if they were being leftists. So I don't know if they were hashtag our guys or not. I don't know enough about the board game scene to know like what even would have been, the right thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so really yeah, I've been going through a bunch of channels just looking through like games I like. I've been going to the store and finding stuff. I've settled on a few things I really want to try. Ahoy seems like a really good one, and if these little sample games we're doing go well, I definitely am going to add it to the list of things I want to get at some point because Root's amazing and Ahoy seems like simpler Root. That's the big barrier to entry with Root, and it's why it's probably better to play it's probably better to play Root on Steam.
Yeah. I mean, I've played I actually own a lot of the boxes, and it's like they were it was kind of a dumb idea. I bought it to like play at Chincoteague and stuff like that. But quite frankly, it just if even then we didn't really play it. Um and I think I fudged the rules a bit. And eventually I realized it, and I'm like, well, the board state is completely wrecked. I'm just going to not break the rules anymore and keep playing.
That is fair, frankly.
Are you attacking one of my bluefin patrols?
I never said I was doing that. Mollis, from my understanding, I don't really grasp why, but you're not really supposed to attack much with Mollusk Union.
Listen, I'm a shark man, okay? All right. Wow, sharks.
End turn. Okay. I got gold. I don't know what to do with that. Yeah, we are learning this game on the fly, man. Like I said, I did play it once, but you have to understand I played it once. I lost 36-4 and had no clue so I know just about as much as Ben. Very, very, very slightly more. And even then, it's like the most vague things. Like, I'm pretty sure Mollusk Union is not recommended to attack. Why not? Don't know. Like, so, yeah, we're going to work this out. But yeah, Root, you're right. Like, Root is a game where every time I see the box, I'm tempted to get it. And then I go, like, I know I will regret it because I'm never going to play this in person. And yeah, the Steam implementation of Root is so outstanding, it honestly doesn't even matter. Like, it's such a great Steam implementation. It teaches you the game really quickly and really effectively, has tutorials with all of the major factions, allows you to buy the expansions. It looks great. it keeps all of the rules in track for you. So, like, that's the other great thing about playing Steam Root is, frankly, like, in the Steam version of Root, you just kind of like, you don't need to keep track of the rules. Steam keeps track of the rules, right? You can't cheat. Like, I'm sure you could if you were particularly enterprising. But what I mean is, like, there's no like, oh, you're not allowed to do this, but you just did it, right? The game just won't let you. Hey, what can I do? And then Steam just tells you. So, Board Game Arenas, their UI for I apparently have 1 victory point to your 3. Okay. What does that mean?
I have a dude who what's a wealth die? Um, so I have a dude that uh can let me go into wreckage without damage.
Nice. Okay. I got the Elder. At the end of your turn, gain 1 gold. But what do I do with gold? There's a market.
Yeah. Well, it's like what's a wealth die?
Yeah. It's fine. We're learning together. This is why I told you beforehand. I'm pretty sure the Bluefin Squadron is considered to be like slightly easier.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I the idea that I got, and you sort of get it in the name. The Mollusk Union is a little bit like the Woodland Alliance in Root. You sort of get the communist vibe from both of them.
Yeah.
Alliance Union. But yeah, and it's the same sort of thing where it's like we're less powerful, but we like can spread out, and then we'll be more powerful in the late game. I think is the vibe, which is how the Woodland Alliance works. My memory of the Woodland Alliance is that it's really a thing where it's like if you ignore it, it will crush you, right? Which is basically how I won, right?
Right.
Like, and one of the things I saw someone in a negative review of Root, the only negative review of Root I've ever seen. It was a very lukewarm negative review. It was like, I'm trying to think of how to put it. It was like their big thing with their big issue with Root was like every time we played, it seemed like the winner of the next game would just be the loser of the last game because everybody would go, oh, hey, you got to watch that guy because if you don't, they'll win. Now, to me, that just sounds like it's a very balanced game. And I understand the criticism to an extent, but
Mm-hmm.
it's also what's up?
I'm just making a noise. Don't worry about
Yeah. It's and I'm trying to figure out my turn as well. So oh, I can inspire. Let's confirm. And I could choose where to place my comrades. Okay.
it. My goodness.
Yeah, they're even called comrades.
Well, like there's I don't know. To me, like there's like this weird thing where like people call all collectivism like communism, and it's like it poisons the well like a lot. Because then it's like, okay, guys, we have to work together. That sounds like communism, and like I'm just like going, yeah, I mean, I guess, but it's like it's more like Marx was trying to do a thing than actual like you know it being every bit of collectivism is communist. It's like we're all going to die alone if we don't work together. Yeah, but I don't want to be a dang dirty communist. It's like what?
That's
So
true. And this is
yeah.
really also, I'll say, like, I am totally not criticizing either Root or Ahoy for this because they don't.
Hmm.
To be clear, if you play the games, they don't actually call them communists. It's just kind of inferred.
Right. In reality, they're like the Rebel Alliance or something ridiculous like that. Um,
You could say that. I think that Root probably intends them to be kind of communist coded.
hmm
I can recruit for free. What's up with that? How did I get that? Join the crew, man.
Come on in, bud.
Yeah, water's fine. Uh, And I can sail my little mollusk guy, my flagship. Do I want to sail it? Yeah, I do. Let's... $255. Refill market. End turn. Okay. I feel like that was a productive turn. I can't really tell for sure, but it seems
I
like
don't
I
know either.
changed the... I think I changed the board state a bunch at least.
Mm.
So for whatever that's worth.
There's all your little comrades around. I might have to do something about that.
Yeah. They're spread out well though. I'm happy about that. That feels right. I should have put a dying the cannon. That's where I messed up. I have a bunch of Mollusk Union crew now as well. But okay, yeah. So I understand that criticism of Root where it's like it feels weird, like it feels like there's less strategy than there should be because the winner of each game is almost kind of dependent on like who lost the previous game because then you just target them. On the flip side, what that means is number one, the game is very balanced, which is quite a feat considering how incredibly asymmetrical Root is. Like it's one of the most asymmetrical games you will ever play. Even like, and I know this even from like the board game channels. They're going like, no, Root's like extreme asymmetry. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. My turn again. Choose a die to place. Yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna add my die to the cannons just to make sure. And I want my flagship at an island, so I'm gonna sail. I don't know what the numbers on the die help me with, by the way, except for Tailwind. That's the only one I really get.
Well, my cannon die are a 5 and a 6, and yours is a 1. So I don't know how that's going to turn out for you, but
Start about. All right, so we got a battle. I got some options here. This is interesting. I don't want to tell you because I don't want you to know my hand.
Well, what I know is that you're at an island where I have one bluefin patrol. So
Correct, but my cutter and my flagship are there. Does that matter?
I don't know.
I could also pay my emissary to skip the battle if I really want to. You know what? I'm going to use my selected card. Let's do it. And there we go. Resolving battle.
Mm. Mm.
Did you win?
Well, you attacked me twice.
No,
So
I
you
won. I won.
Yeah. So like I'm pretty sure that if it was a 1-on-1, I would have won, but you have a
Yeah, I
9.
used the card to get a secret weapon card. So you may complete. To be honest, I just realized that my emissary guy who gives me the ability to ignore a battle is really powerful. Holy crap.
Yeah, because you can pay me off. My traitorous admirals.
Yes. And that's my turn. Nice. That feels like it went well. Why do I got 6 people on that one square? I gotta move them. But okay. Yeah, I've tried a few games. I've been looking up a lot of games. I want to try Arcs, which is another leader game. Unfortunately, Leader Games is the company that does Root and Ahoy. For people who don't know. But the thing about leader games is, unfortunately, Arcs is not online. Ahoy is in this implementation. This UI is a little bit confusing because it doesn't explain anything. Root it has the Steam version. Arcs doesn't have anything. Arcs, from what I've seen of reviews of Arcs, it is wildly controversial in not in any meaningful way, just like people strongly disagree on whether or not it's any good. I have seen people say this is one of the greatest games ever made. And I've also seen people go, I hated this game. I never want to play it again. So it's a trick-taking game, which you know what those are, right?
No.
So trick-taking games are games where it's kind of hard to describe. You know what? Instead of trying to, I have played them before. I've played Whist and I've played Bridge, trick-taking card game. I'm just gonna look it up because I don't know how to explain it. So
It's like about combos, right?
kind of it's a series of rounds, and each round is called Trick. Players play cards, and the highest card wins the trick. Bridge is a very popular one. Whist is an old-fashioned one. Phileas Fogg loves it. Yeah, that sort of thing. Oh, cool. It's my turn. You must adjust a wealth die. What's the wealth die? Where's the wealth die?
So that's the center blue die in the center of the map.
Oh, okay. I see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Clear the market. What's in the market? Yeah, all right, sure. Yeah, man, I don't care about the market. Screw the market.
Right? Don't you know the market's up 50,000?
Oh, hey, I tied you. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I did have a good turn then. Okay.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah, so Arcs is a trick-taking game. So each round you're trying to have the highest card. There are various versions of it. Bridge is the current most popular. The Whist was an old-fashioned one. Like I said, Phileas Fogg loved it. You know. Hearts, Spades. Spades is very popular with young people, I've noticed. Because it's very simple. Good trick-taking game. Oh no, you're targeting me.
Mm-hmm.
I see it. I see it. You're trying to take my island.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not gonna let you. How about that?
Well, I turned it into a stronghold, so you have fun with that. Do I know what I'm doing? No. No, I don't.
I do not. No clue. But wow, you look powerful, I'll tell you that.
Thank you.
Your 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 bluefins are all over the map and you have tons of centralization. I don't feel very powerful.
But you're a freebooter, aren't you?
Sure. All right, I'm going to play this on cannons. I'm going to play this. Where do I want my flagship to go? Anywhere? Ooh, I could do something cool.
Probably away from my flagship.
This. Ha ha ha.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Pardon me.
Yes.
What do you think you're doing? Pardon me.
Nice, right? For people who can't tell very much, I used the card to remove a bunch of his patrols because he was getting a little scary looking. Not gonna lie.
Listen, you are standing against the East Shark India Company. All right. You will
Do I
submit.
want to move my flagship? I might. And if I do, where do I want to go? Is this an island square? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go Tailwind and hightail it. Oh, I'm undoing that. That doesn't make sense, apparently. Oh, and I have damage. I didn't even realize that. Do I? No, I don't have any damage. And why would I put anything in my damage slot? That's dumb.
Yeah, I mean, I've got something in my damage slot. I've got repair and stuff like that, but Pilot's kind of overpowered. Actually, no, it's balanced. I think that Pilot is balanced, actually. I like sharks. One of my favorite characters for Pinkerton's Ghost I've ever made is the shark mermaids.
The
So
shark
it's
mermaids, huh?
yeah, they don't.
Oh
They've
shit! I
shown
can move my cutter anywhere. That's amazing. Um,
where essentially they're just like like in the same way that a mermaid is bigger than your average fish, a shark is bigger than your average fish. Uh, so it's like they're that kind of size. They show up in one RPG session with paid backers and one episode. The same one I introduced Viet Vo in. And essentially, Viet Vo is come to collect on. Well, sorry, I'll go backwards. Jack Morrow attacks some like supernatural creature traders. Excuse me, are you attacking my guys again?
no, I undid a turn to get rid of a die roll I didn't like,
Mm,
and so I had to redo it. But it's the same. There's no real difference.
okay.
No, you know what? I undid it again. That's so annoying. Sorry, it's gonna be the exact same thing one more time.
It's
I
fine.
was trying to just end the turn, so I should finish in time.
Anyway, so they captured some shark mermaids, a mother and daughter pair, and were carrying them through. Jack Morrow attacks, and it's one of those like I don't do it very often, but like it's one of those episodes where he kills other humans. But they're in the game kidnapping people, shark mermaids and such. Uh, then Viet Vo realizes what's going on, starts trying to kill Jack. Uh,
There we go. Okay.
he nearly does it, but Jack gets blasted into a cave where the shark mermaid matron and her daughter are hiding. They're able to save him for the moment, and he comes back and he's able to put a couple bullets into Viet Vo, but he survives. Tenacious Vietnamese bastard. The second one's a lot more funny. So the RPG system I use is basically like they tell me what they want to do, and I roll actions and reactions. Um, and so they were hunting down a chef uh, who uh, was running an underground market where essentially he would sashimi or cook supernatural creatures, right? Um, choose a die on recruitment. And so, hmm, I don't care to have one there, but I will move a patrol this way. Just to say,
I'm still not fully up to speed on exactly how this game is working. But that's okay. I'm enjoying it.
yeah,
I like the way that more map opens up, and I bet you, I like all leader games, this game is delightful to look at. So let me bring up to you, since we're having this little board gamey stream as I'm looking at games. Do you have any recommendations for me? Because I've been going through all of the things, seeing what looked interesting, trying to balance between things that look too complicated versus things that didn't look, like they would be very fun, like we're too simplistic and whatever. What do you have in mind?
Want me?
Yes.
I don't.
Really? No suggestions at all?
Nope.
All right, Bluefin Patrol versus
Sorry.
Knowledge
Like
Extraction. So,
the I don't really have any strong memories. It's like so like I know I've played different games. You know, I played Mousetrap, I
I'm
played
debating if I
Strategio,
want to do this.
I played Risk. You know, I played all the classic games, but in reality, I don't really have any suggestions. Like I would like to play more Settlers of Catan, you know. But at the same time, that's really more of a social party game for a social scene I don't fucking have. Like it's like, oh well, you know, the this and that. Well, it's like actually I played it. Half the
It's
people
not
were
letting me use one of my cards. It's giving me an unexpected error. No. I want to use my emissary crew.
that's too
Come on,
bad.
man. Fine, I'll
That's
just
too
use
bad.
this. I'll
We
just
ate
use
the
this.
emissary.
How
We
about
ate the
that?
emissary.
Can't get rid of me. I get rid of you. No, I don't actually.
Did my guy just die?
Nope. I avoided the battle. I bravely ran away. He was not afraid to die, no brave Sir Robin. He was not afraid. No. Uh, I'm not going to continue with that, but you get the reference.
I do.
As a side note, Monty Python as a movie, I have very, very mixed feelings about because there are scenes that are just hysterically funny, and then other scenes that everybody like recommends. So I'm just like, they're fine.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess it's like the Knights Who Say Knee, I do not find funny at all. I've just
No,
like stone faced the entire time. People love that scene, love it.
they
And I'm
do.
just like, it's fine. I guess, I've seen worse. Uh but the coconut scene followed later in the movie by the swallow scene, incredible. 10 of 10.
So anyway, uh, so the two agents, Cordell and Carl, are investigating an underground kitchen that serves up supernatural beasts, with its hideously obese chef Swelter. That when they say, "Oh Lord, he's coming," it's 5 minutes before you see the head. For the fat that he drags, that he swims in, his own body fat. It's a horrible character. But anyway, they captured the shark matron from the first episode, and they've got her in a tank. And the goal is to sashimi her in their underground kitchen, because fundamentally she's still, you know, like half fish, half shark in this case. And you know, the two guys are, you know, they follow the clues and they intercept it. Um, and so they hide themselves as coconut Lacroix deliverymen, uh, you know,
Incredible.
infiltrate and so on and so forth, and that goes pretty well. Uh, and then the combat starts because eventually their disguises fail, and Swelter starts running up the stairs, which takes a while because he has to shove his belly fat through first, which is as I described, incredibly large. Um, so he so long story short, they fight some guys, and the shark matron's tank is destroyed. The problem is that she rolled a 5 or something very low to avoid the damage of, you know, having a tank that you're in explode. So she gets cut up by a whole bunch of little shards and everything like that. And something I haven't told the guys is that shark mermaids have a rage meter. So you see where I'm
Of course
going
they
with
do.
this. Of course they do. She is covered in glass. She's been separated by her daughter from her daughter. You know, who is paying for the paranormal Pinkertons to help with her replaceable, shark teeth, as you might imagine. And long story short, she rolls a 1 to calm down. So, of course, she gets madder. She starts biting people in half. They are, of course, failing to save against a 9 to 12-foot long shark matron who is going berserk from, the stress of it all. She's a little eepy beepy berserk. Um, what have I got? Sure, I'm going to play with Tailwind. My stronghold should handle it.
Woohoo. Yeah, I don't know. Like, that's the thing. When I go like, oh, I'm getting into board, it's hard for me to really say I'm getting into like board gaming as a hobby, right? That because I'm playing with family, and none of them are going to be like huge board gamers. And frankly, all those super big, long, complicated games, I'm not going to enjoy, right? Like they don't even look very fun,
Yeah,
in my opinion. All right, cool. My
you're
turn.
growing. I need to clear out some of your homies. So anyway, to long story short, uh, every time it comes down to the shark matron to calm down, I roll a 1 again, or a 2, or similar. So of course her rage meter is just maxed the entire time. She is devouring people, eating people, and then Cordell fails to get out of her way. So she mauls the absolute shit out of his chest. Now, a little bit of context. In every single RPG session, Cordell is injured horrifically. Sometimes it's just his pride, like the time when Alexander the Great shoved him into a hat and he popped into a rabbit's hutch in a bunny girl suit. Or, like in this case, mauled by a berserk shark matron. Fortunately, Carl is able to stabilize him because he was going to die. But Carl helps him. He lives. He doesn't die in this time. Instead, Swelter finally comes up, gets his fat ass up the stairs, and charges in, and is right next to the berserking shark matron and attacks her. Now he is roughly 10,000 pounds of fat on two stumpy legs. Um, they go at it, and because of how the mechanics work, which isn't really like is more like I choose what the rules are and then I just stick with them because I can trust myself to keep to the rules. Uh, where essentially the shark matron is swimming through Swelter's fat, trying to find his real body so she can kill this son of a bitch. And eventually she does it. She eats him and basically swims out of the fat, and like collapses next to the two agents. And it's like, yeah, no, she's done. She ate a tremendous amount of fat. She's just out of it, having a nap. Sale.
I think we're gonna calculate more points then. Let's see how well I understand this. I'm enjoying the very dynamic board state here, right? Like I feel like every turn it changes, and I don't. It's hard to say.
I'm just gonna start killing your dudes.
This is wise.
So yeah, and then everyone
Choose a
goes
dog.
home safely. I need to edit the RPG sessions, mostly for slurs. We're very creative. The funnest RPG episode was that one, but the second funnest is when they teamed up with Jack Morrow to kill a pack of werewolves, and they immediately aced that like 20 like 18 or above their opening salvo, and so the head werewolf got bodied just like in the opening shots. And so the only thing that was left by the end of it that took longer than the entire fight was just this one super canny werewolf that would attack and then dive back into the wreckage of the building um, to do it. It's like, okay, Jack is going to ram the guard werewolf in the front. They're like, what? All right, so you guys, what do you do? We brace ourselves. Oh, well, you survived the bracing. And it's like they see the dice rolls and it's like roll, roll, roll one. And it looks like the Unismasher cuts the werewolf in half. That's a lot of fun.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
You were in one episode, the TV episode,
Yes.
where you started murdering people that, thank goodness, were also you hit a woman. You almost hit a woman.
No, I did not. I
Because you failed
missed.
the roll. You failed the roll. Thank goodness. You rolled like a 5. And I'm like, she's sitting there defenseless, but
That's a pretty bad roll.
that's a pretty bad roll. So we're not going to let Anthony beat women at this time. So
It's okay. I've since gotten married, so it worked out.
yeah, average Italian marriage.
It's like the worst thing I've ever said.
That's dark. But it was I enjoyed that one because I like
It was fun.
I like harassing Cordell a bit.
I could go. Why can't I go? Oh, I misunderstood the tailwind slot. I see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you can only go to places that have the same die. So
Yes,
like if you
yes.
want to, like the tailwind, actually they mostly just lead to wreckage spaces, which are okay for me because I have the pilot. And the pilot lets me ignore those SOBs. But you, however,
It will not let me use my card that allows me to ignore the battle, and I don't know why.
you don't have any gold to pay.
No, like it's saying it, then it's giving me an error. Whatever. You know what? I
No,
don't
no.
care.
So like you need to pay a gold to ignore the battle.
Let's see how this goes.
Lock and load, baby.
Oh, my roll was so shit, but I still might win. Let's see. No, I didn't win because I rolled a 1. A 1. What do you even do with that?
Give me the elder.
Give me the elder.
He is a shark. He must be with his own people.
That's fine. I actually don't really care about the elder. I'm much more interested in the emissary.
Your emissary that requires gold to work that you
I
have
got
to
gold
give
now.
me.
But I'm winning. I'm winning. Yes. There you go.
Yeah, by like 1.
By 1.
What do I want to do? I'll sail.
You know what I want to play? I really want to try like a detective game. The problem is that like I don't want one that's like ludicrous to play. There was a game that was described as Clue but fixed. So I like Clue, but the problem with Clue, if you remember it, it's probably been years since you've played it, but I remember it well enough, is that there is at least the possibility that the game can end in one turn, right?
Yes.
Like you could just guess and then immediately be correct. So there are various fixes for Clue that are out there. Like, and one of there's a pretty good one that my family's played for years. It's middling reviews on Board Game Geek, I think, and I can understand why. It's because it's not very board gamey, right? Like, it's very clearly a family game night game, if that makes sense. But it's a good one, and it's called Clue Effects. And basically, it just kind of solves the problem of the immediate guessing by also having clues that are like hidden in rooms that you need to travel to, and there's like a semi-random element to it. It's good.
Yeah.
It fixes the issue. I must adjust the wealth die. Okay. I don't really understand the wealth die, so I'm going to adjust this one. Clear the market. What's the market?
I don't know either.
Yeah.
I just say yeah, do it anyway.
Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm clearing the market.
Oh.
I don't really get it, but I'm clearing the market. So, anyway, Clue Effects is a good one, but there was another game as I was researching this, and by researching it, I obviously mean trolling through that many different board game reviews on YouTube, and B, seeing if ChatGPT can find me something. As you do. It was called Awkward Guests, and it was described as Clue, but they fixed it. So I can appreciate that as a description. And I did look it up, and it does look like Clue, but they fixed it. And the complexity rating, so Board Game Geeks has a thing called weight, where they go like the complexity of the game. The problem is that Board Game Geeks is a website that's literally run by board game geeks, right? So the weight is kind of hard, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know how to describe this exactly. Also, am I losing now? How am I losing all of a sudden?
I killed all your friends.
Oh, okay. I was up by 1. Now I'm down by 3.
Yep.
That sucks.
It turns out that violence is the answer.
Yeah.
It's like that one
Playing a gunship,
one meme. It's like, come on, guys. When has violence ever solved anything? Opens a history book. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, starts flipping.
Oh
No.
no.
That is a pretty good meme.
It is a pretty 10 out of 10. But yeah. Like Clue's fun. I think that there should be like, like the problem is like how do you enforce things like, hey, you shouldn't actually like, guess for like 5 turns unless you actually figure it out. Like, how do you do that? Like, oh, I figured it out. And then somebody goes, okay, and then they can blind guess it and win. That's unpleasant. But at the same time, it's like, how do you like limit the turns before you can guess? Like the randomness is nice, but it's like, like some board games, like some of even you just play solo. And I have no idea how you could play a game solo. It's like, would you play Clue solo? No, of course not. It's like, well, about that? Like one time I came across a guy who was playing a game solo. I was helping grout his bathroom, and I just moved his pieces around just like by one space.
Based.
Have fun with that. Sad bitch. Here's he's Gen Y and has made terrible choices for a wife. She left him for a personal trainer, and I have to say, like the amount of people I know who have been cheated on with personal trainers is way higher than you think. It's like I understand.
I'm not going to lie to you. I doubt that.
Really?
The reason that I doubt it is I am very cynical and would assume that personal trainers cheat all the time. Frankly, I think it's classic.
Yeah, that's fair.
What the fuck? I paid the emissary to skip the battle. Why did it not work?
You don't have gold.
I paid gold. The
Oh,
battle wasn't skipped. What? I think it's because I skipped it on my turn and you just did anyway. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. So it was just stupid for me to do it. Just a bad move. Oh well. Live and learn. Yeah, right. Okay, cool. Gain 2 ready comrades. Let's do it. And that's it. That's my turn. Fuck you. Okay.
look at my damage thing. I hit your comrade creation stuff.
You did.
Yeah.
All right, whatever. Can we talk for a moment since we're doing this board gamey casual stream? Can we talk for a moment about the retarded Tourette's thing going on? I find it very funny.
I don't know anything about it actually.
Oh, you got to hear this. It's great. It's so good. Um
Is somebody yelling slurs again?
Sort of. So at the BAFTA Awards, a dude was there. They made a movie about his wife called not wife, sorry, life called I Swear, right? Because he had
Yes.
Tourette's with coprophagia, which is the one that the funny Tourette's. Um,
Got
yeah.
it.
Well, while at the awards, now the way Tourette's works, I'm sure you know this, but in case people don't, the way Tourette's works is that or coprophagia specifically works, is that it causes you to sorry, I'm fixing my flagship right now. There we go, repair. Cool.
Tee.
Anyway, um it causes you to say the thing that is you would least want to say, right? It's like a nervous system response that's like, so whatever you would know would be the worst thing for you to say. It's kind of like you're thinking, man, what if I shouted fuck the police while I was at a traffic stop? Well, this actually happened to this guy, right?
Right.
Like, you don't actually think it at all. In fact, you're horrified by it, but you say it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Okay. I'm not looking so hot here.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so he's at this award. Michael B. Jordan and some other guy who I forget, doesn't matter, are going up to speak, and he yells "nigger" really loud, right? So
Yes. Thank you. Okay.
I said the no word, but
You said the no word.
I'm
We're done.
also I'm
We're
relating a
done.
story. Please, we
They're
talked about
coming,
the Jew. We
Anthony.
talked about the Jews.
Yeah, but like all you have to do is lay out some bagels and lox, and they get distracted.
That's
Um,
true.
and it's not even good bagels and lox. You have to give them like kind of the medium bad stuff, so they complain about it and forget all.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. But anyway, so he yells this out, and then
Right.
everybody, like, people are confused. Michael B. Jordan, whatever, like, what the, okay, whatever. And then they move on. Now, to you, a sane person, this is about as much of a nothing as you could possibly get. Man with Tourette's is there for a movie about his life, to be clear, right?
Right.
Like, and his Tourette's acts up. Well, obviously, you have to be normal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'm clearing you out here.
You bastard. I'm coming for you.
There's nothing else for me to clear out here. Cool. Cancel. Choose a die to place. All right. I'm gonna put you on Inspire.
So he just goes up to Michael B. Jordan and shouts "nigger." That is
Kind of. He's in the
hilarious.
back of the. He's in the back when he says this.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but yes, that is what happens, more or less. And yeah, he's embarrassed and he leaves. Now, to you, a normal person, it's like, okay, dude with Tourette's, his Tourette's acted up. You understand. Now that you know the context, it's fine. We move on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the left had no idea what to do with this because they were. So you're getting people like, if I were you, like he really shouldn't have been there. So it's like, what the fuck? So you're saying like disabled people shouldn't go to awards about them? It's his
Mhm.
award. Like he's the
Right.
one taking the award.
He was specifically invited.
Right. He was specifically invited to this place. Holy fuck. How am I down 11-20 suddenly? How did I lose a victory point? How does this game work? I don't know. Okay, anyway.
I don't know
Um
either. Ooh, I can recruit. Um,
I'm kind of enjoying it. I just don't really get it.
do I want the cut purse or the sea dog? I'm not allowed to have the sea witch.
Okay, so
Um,
anyway, what makes this so funny is that you get people who are going like, this was unacceptable. The BAFTA shouldn't have allowed it. So it's like, what should they have done? Like segregated him into a separate room? Like, but yeah, I agree. We should cordon off the disabled people. That's the woke answer.
right.
Like this is like, but these are the options where it's like, I guess you could cordon off all the disabled folks. You could say that they're not allowed to participate in public spaces, right? And then you just get these. I think Critical Drinker talked about this, and they had a great line in like it was like one of his drinker, after hours thing. So they were all discussing it together with Mahler and them, right? And one of them had a great line where it's like the left has been getting so outraged over fake disabilities that they forgot that there are actual people with real disabilities.
Mm,
And that's I think that pretty much sums it up, right?
right.
Like that's kind of what's going on here. This dude has a real disability. He cannot control himself. He doesn't want to say it, but he
Right.
has to. He doesn't have a choice. It's a
Michael B.
neurological
Jordan is
condition.
right there. Right.
So, ooh, I can assemble. Yeah. Choose an action slot. Sale, current firm. And I want my mollusk flagship to.
This is this is the
No, I'm happy where it is, actually. I'm going to keep it.
my stronghold.
End turn.
Choose a die to place.
You may very well win this turn if I'm understanding this incorrectly. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
But yeah, like so all of these things of like what should and then I see people going like the BAFTAs didn't handle it well either, and it's like what was their option here? Like
Remove Michael B. Jordan to his own
or
space.
remove the guy, I don't even know yet, but like remove the guy with Tourette's.
Yeah.
Like, but do you understand what you're saying here, right?
Right.
I'm not sure you do.
Well, it's like they've been like running under specific rules, so it's like when you actually get different rules, which is
Oh, nice. Okay. I finally won a roll. That's nice.
Grogmaster. You may take damage to re-roll your battle die one time. No, because you rolled a 9.
Deal 1 damage, steal 1 gold. You must assign damage. What do I want to do?
Steal the gold.
This is difficult. I think I'm going to remove one of your kin die because that's friggin' annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Very nice. I can live with that.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, like like these are the options. Like you want to segregate disabled people. Like what are you gonna do? Like I guess like the other thing go, no, they gotta put them in an area where like they can't hear them. It's like, okay, so you want to segregate disabled person. Like that's what you're saying right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go like What are they supposed to? And then there's the funny. Wow, I think you did just win
I'm
because I'm
close.
seeing
Oh,
you did.
match. I did win.
I have no clue how that worked. Write a personal note about Pinkerton's ghosts.
Don't you dare. I know you're pinching for using hard jars.
Yeah, that's what got me over 50% on the racism test. It said use nigger in real life. I'm like, it wasn't as a slur, it was just in passing, but it got me over the mark.
Right. It's like,
Uh,
so it's like, Ben, what was your story? It's like, well, the nigger pointed a gun at my head and threatened to kill me over being in the right way in a one-way alley. And Anthony's just dropping them like he drops spaghetti into the spaghetti and meatballs his grandma serves.
incredible.
It was
Anyway, I enjoyed that, by the
yeah,
way.
it was fun. I was
I
just
didn't get it at all. I have no idea how you won, but
I
I
killed
enjoyed it.
all of your friends.
I mean, I guess you did. I
Yeah.
did have one very brief half turn where I was winning, though, so crushing it over here.
Yep. Because you killed my friends.
Yes,
To be fair, like
it
you
goes both
killed my
ways.
yeah, exactly, like friend murder.
Right. I think this is a buyable game. It seems a lot simpler to learn than Root.
Yeah,
Uh,
it
Root's
was
not.
fun.
Yeah, as we've said, Root's probably not worth the buy. It's better to play on Steam because Steam keeps track of the rules for you.
Yeah,
Um, this, however, seems like if you have people to play it with, it could be worth the buy. But all right, so going back to, I do want to discuss because I find it incredibly funny
right.
because the discussion to me, as somebody said, like Michael B. Jordan and the other dude went to a show and then they got like a standing ovation and they're like, we had to go through this. And somebody put on Twitter, it's like, Jesus Christ, they're acting like they just survived like uh, a horrible war. And then they go, all they did was hear the no word once, like not even directed at them,
Right.
like in the background, said by a disabled man. And I'm having conversations with people. Like my sister goes, like, no, like, look, I can understand how if you weren't expecting it, hearing a slur directed at you could be like distressing in the moment. And I'm like, I'm actually gonna push back on this. Like, I actually don't respect it. I do understand, like, literally immediately in the moment, if you have no idea, you might look around and go, who the fuck just said that?
Right.
Right. But
You called me a
once you
cracker.
learn, as soon as someone tells you, "Oh no, dude, he was disabled. He's mortified." Like, if you are still bothered by this, I have lost respect for you. Like,
Yeah.
at that point, it's like, you cannot be that mentally fragile. Like,
Well,
surely you're not. You know,
yeah. I mean, but
and I don't believe anybody actually is either. I think it's entirely performative, right? Like,
mhm.
do you really think that Michael B. Jordan gives a shit once he learns it was a Tourette sufferer? Like,
No.
no, of course he doesn't. He has to act like he does because if he does anything else, people are going to be like, "Oh, you're not part of the tribe." Yeah,
Right. Like it's a careful dance. Of like you have to do this, you have to be this to the right people. When like I know how the Jewish bankers talk to each other, they they it's insane. Like you'd think these actors aren't even people to them. I mean, they're not people, but that's a different issue. But like you could, if you looked at what like the bankers and the executives, like what Harvey Weinstein would casually do on a Monday night, like it's one of those things where it's like clearly there's rules for the little folk that the big fish don't play with. Like in the end they were perfectly okay making a movie where there's no way in hell he didn't drop like 30 slurs a day, you know in front of people, not just to himself. There's like excuses you can make for the disabled, for stuff like that, but then there's like conscious choice. Like if he ran up and started singing every slur for a black man that's ever been. Yeah, no, that's not acceptable. But that's not what happened at all. So it's like with when my brother was alive, he was autistic, and he would conflict with my mother over like what music he needed to listen to and stuff like that. She didn't like the fact that he listened to Marilyn Manson and other things, which I'm very confident he only listened to because it bothered her. And so we came down to one day, and like I let that go. I don't care. That's between him and mom. Well, one day he tries to set mom against me by having him go up to me and say, don't you know this? And mom says that, and I go, listen, I've never fought you. I've never beat your ass, but I will beat your autistic ass if you try to pit me against mom. And he's like, what? I said, I will not accept you being a manipulative little shit and try to put mom against me. Because it's like whatever, like beefing, autism beefing or whatever. I was like
Mhm.
home from work at that time. It's like, no, I'm not. This is a boundary. This is a boundary I know you can handle. You are smart enough to try and manipulate me because you think I'll advocate to mom. But in reality, you are crossing the line that I will simply be violent about because there's no way in hell I'm going against my mother for something like this. And believe you me, I've got boundaries with my mother. She can't be like, ooh, it's like this, and she wants me to do something without telling me. I don't play that manipulative game. I don't play the little Lord Fauntleroy. Oh, she can just do whatever. Like there's layers to it. But it's like, when my brother was alive and he tried to manipulate me, I don't care whether he was autistic or not. That was his sin nature showing, and I wasn't going to have any part of it. Like that's how you like, maybe I was a little too violent in my speech, but the fact is that that's how you handle something. Like when it's like he's like chattering, oh, mom doesn't let me listen to Marilyn Manson. Doesn't she know something? Whatever he used to say about it. Doesn't she know that Ozzy Osbourne is a Christian? Et cetera, et cetera. Uh, I can't remember if he was or not. Um, but it's like, that is the autism talking, right? Like the autism talking is the obsessions, the inability to break free of mental cycles, the lowering of IQ, even though in reality he was fairly high IQ and fairly Chad for an autistic kid. Um, he went on more dates than me, Anthony. It was insane. It was insane.
That is
But
insane.
with autistic chicks. But the
Oh, that barely counts, dude.
I'm gonna type something to you, Anthony. I'm gonna type something, but I don't dare.
Ben, I just dropped the hard R, and you won't even say this out loud. What's how bad could it be? Oh,
Anyway.
I've said that out loud.
Okay, fine. It worked for you, Anthony. But
Yeah,
the anyway,
my
so
wife's
it's
more autistic than I am, right, Caitlin? She just went in response.
anyway. Uh, but like that was the natural man. When the sin nature comes out, it doesn't matter if they're autistic; they still have a human soul. They can still be judged by God, and they still can experience, sin and the ups and downs and Jesus Christ and all this stuff. It's like you can make excuses for some things, like having a disability in your brain that makes you, the corporophilia or whatever it's called. Um,
Yes.
but at the same time, there's like, you in a proper society, the actions are judged by, intention and stuff like that. When my little brother's intention was to go, uh, uh, I'm going to pit Ben against mom in my favor. The reaction was, I will get violent about this. That's unacceptable. You will not do this. You will absolutely not do this. And, because of, various things in my history, that, means I owe mom a debt in some ways. It's like, we had to work together for security when before Dad had his strokes and calmed himself down. Um, like it's not, it's not something I can really compass. You are doing this from your sin nature, and you are crossing a very sacred boundary that's going to end poorly for you. But it's like the left doesn't do that selectively. Not even the left, the people anti-civilization. I don't like saying right and left anymore. It never feels as descriptive as it
So
needs
to
to.
be honest with you, the reason that I still do it is because I don't know what else to use.
Right,
Like, I used to be liberal and like conservative. Then everyone's like, no, you can't. No, conservatives aren't it, and everybody's a classical liberal. Okay, so then you mean like what? The I don't know. Republicans are no. Republicans suck. It's just that one part. Okay,
right,
so do you mean what? Right and left? Now people are like, no, it's not that sense. Like, tell me what to say.
right.
Like, so
It's
I
like,
just use right and left. It's like I don't know.
yeah,
You know who I mean.
right. Anyway, it's like these people, like, they follow these different rules and they're stuck on things. And the problem is that there's no actual judgment for them breaking the rules. One of the big differences between the right and the left is that the right wing, the proper right wing, is Christian. They have a God who will judge them. That's the reason. That's the actual reason why they don't abuse power. It isn't that they're against power, even though they say it. It's the ones who actually know and think things through know that God will judge them for the abuses of their power. If you look at the Bible, it's very clear. God has a hierarchy of things. He judges nations and he judges kings. He judges fathers. In that kind of cycle. He'll go to your pastor, then he'll go to your father, then he'll go to you as the head of the family. Like he'll basically go down a hierarchy and say, okay, you have these things, and you abused your power in this way, and you made these bad choices, and you made these good choices, of course. But the left doesn't have that. They don't have anything like that. In fact, what they have is a vague set of ideas that they consider very moral, but in reality are nothing of the sort. In reality, they are just kind of, how do I want? It's a moral thing for them, but it's not like a morality based on a god. It's just based on an ephemeral thing. It's like the reason why the left and the right came into use in such a permanent way was the French Revolution. The French Revolution had,
Mhm.
the left and the right and the center, and you sat where you stood on things. There were the estates and stuff like that, but that's not quite the same thing. You would have, say, priests and bishops and stuff who sat on either side of the aisle based on what they believed in. You would have governors who sat on either side of the aisle. You would have the executioners who always sat on the left. And the choices that the left made was always to attack those on the right. That's why you had the war in the Vendée. That's why you had so many people put to Madame Guillotine. That's why you had all that death. Um, the thing is that wasn't actually the end goal. The death itself wasn't the end goal. The end goal was the erasure of Christianity within the society and the demoralization of the right. It's different than some other things that people talk about for the simple reason is that the existential fight in Western civilization has always been the godly against the ungodly. If you look at certain levels in history where they're, like what the kings were doing and stuff like that, what the Roman church was doing back when it was a more temporal power, or what the Orthodox Church, or especially when Islam came in, is that you had a conflict that was based on the religious factions more than political factions. You had political factions based on families, but because of the small size of society, in other words, even if you had factions within like the Byzantine Empire, which is of its time one of the biggest empires, you still only really had a scant few families who had power. And then they would fight with each other, and then one family would rise and one family would fall. It wouldn't actually be the same thing as the left or the right. You can't say the Guelphs were liberal and the Ghibellines were conservative. I don't know if that's right, by the way, because that isn't actually an accurate way to describe their goals. What they were is actual political parties with concrete political ideals. Not ideals, agents who they were supporting. It's why things like the 30 Years War and the war against the Huguenots and others were so devastating and so much of a dramatic scar on the mind of thinkers in Europe going into the Enlightenment, is because it wasn't fighting based on political motivations or family motivations. It was religious wars, in the same way of wars against the Muslims, which were always religious wars, even if they had political means. Um, Going forward with that, it actually makes sense why Voltaire and Locke and a whole bunch of other guys would be so anti religion, is because they were watching the Huguenots getting massacred in their childhood. And there were massacres well beyond things like the St. Bartholomew Days massacre. And since they were liberal types, they were, of the type to distrust the establishment, and they had access to printing presses, and they had wealthy donors who supported them. Um, they, attacked religion in the way that they did, in turn creating what we call liberalism today. It is only understood in the attack against Christianity. When Christianity had its civil war after the Reformation and during the Counter Reformation and the Wars of the Huguenots and the 30 Years' War and so on and so forth, um, the people who came out of it were wary of other Christian denominations more than they were of Muslims, because everyone agreed Muslims were an existential threat to war against. If you went up to Benjamin Franklin or Alexander Hamilton or Thomas Paine, well, not Thomas Paine actually, but like any of the founding fathers, George Washington, and said, "Hey, do you think Muslims can be American citizens?" They might have started laughing at you, and they're like, absolutely not. You must be a Christian. The ones who understood things, you must be an Anglo white man Christian to be an American. But we can accept a Frenchman, if we, a French Huguenot or something like that they're probably okay. That's the concession you'd get out of them. So it's like with these liberals, these SJ monkeys and all this jazz. They're just like the end result of it, but they don't have the intelligence to think their individual thoughts. They are unable to do anything else but continue the war against Christ by attacking every good thing that Christ can have, by either making the good rule that God has set, for example, not murdering babies out of the womb because of a birth defect, um, into something they worship. There's a famous video where it's like, point of order, you haven't included the disabled people, coming from a disabled, like pink haired thing in a wheelchair. To things like, hey, you shouldn't lie with men as women, or for men, or you mutilating the bodies and sex changes. Like that's that's the reason why we don't consider taking them seriously in any of the things that they're doing. Why in the world should we? They have no morals, they hate God, and they hate us because we love God. Your worldview will click into place when you fully accept that these people only love you insofar as you do not challenge them and you do not live fully in God's graces.
Yep. Yeah, I have. Uh, I think that was well said. That's the that's the problem with everything going on, and it's the problem too that with this thing, it's a problem of they're not judging this on a level like you and I would judge it, like you were saying, but they're judging it on an identity level. Who has the higher identity,
Yep.
right, claim here? And it's Black people, right? They're higher
Mhm.
in the category than disabled people. Now, to any sane person, this is why you get people to go like, okay, I understand it was involuntary, but that doesn't mean he can't apologize. And then it's like, and then somebody posted a tweet that I shared, and it was like, hey, it's like someone walks by with no arms, and a door closes on the woman behind him. Hey, why didn't you hold the door open for me? Oh, I don't have any arms. Yeah, but at least you can apologize for it. I believe this because I am a good person. And like that's kind of it, right? Like this is a person with no arms who you're asking to hold the door for you. Um, it doesn't make any sense. So you need to leave
Yep.
right on the dot at 9. I know. So I want to switch topics briefly to discuss something. I want to talk about Trump briefly, but not in the way you're expecting. Like, I'm not going to judge the Iran thing. To be frank, I don't think there's any reason for us to say anything because we can't affect it anyway, right? Like,
I mean,
that's kind of been it's kind of
I'm
been my attitude about all of this stuff. I want to talk
yeah.
about a larger thing about the attitude with Trump. And this is, I think, like what so many people don't get. It's like you're still supporting Trump after this. The answer is yes. So
Mhm.
if you were to ask me in a vacuum, do you support what Trump did here? I would tell you no, right?
Right.
Like, would I have done this? No. Am I glad that he did this? No. Then you go, but you're still supporting Trump. You're not going to be like, you're not going to turn him. You're not. The answer to that is also, yeah, I am. Absolutely. And I feel like, and this is my problem with Professor Phaser's reactions. Now, I respect Professor Phaser. He is a brilliant
What's his
philosopher.
reactions?
What was that?
Be sure to tell us what his reactions are.
Yeah, I will in a moment. I
All right.
want to go because I want to clarify before I say it's like Professor Phaser is not a joke, right? He's not
Right.
someone who I reflexively dismiss, and I really never will. He's
Mhm.
too thoughtful for that, and he's also just too intelligent generally for that. With that said, so Professor Phaser's whole thing has been he's got more and more like he goes. I think people with Trump derangement syndrome have ended up being proven right over time. Was just predictive that Trump is a
Mm.
megalomaniac and a madman. And I really like my problem is that this struggles to me with perspective. So, do I think Trump should have bombed Iran? No, I think there's a very simple reason why I don't think he should have, which is I don't think that the criteria for a just war was met. Therefore, he shouldn't have done it. I also don't think that in the long run this is going to be the right decision. But even that's kind of almost secondary, right? Like because we don't make these, as Christian men, we don't make these decisions in a vacuum. It's all very nice to say, I want to judge this based on what is best for the United States of America, but that isn't entirely it, right? You also need to know also what's the moral decision? What can what can and can't I do based on like what is right or wrong? So I wouldn't do it. But when I judge him, it's like everybody wants to judge Trump like he's in a vacuum, like he's the only leader on planet Earth and the only president America's ever had, actually, right? And we need to judge him based on the standards of the ideal president that we would all want. And that doesn't make any sense at all. Here are the facts. Other presidents, George Bush, John F. Kennedy, Lyndon B. Johnson, right? Like going way, way back. Joe
Right.
Biden did technically leave Afghanistan, but or Iraq, sorry. Yeah, you know what I mean. He did technically leave as if that, but it was the worst possible way he could have done it, and only because it was basically like his day one promise. You know, he literally had no like it wasn't even more like it wasn't so much what he ran on, it was like he ran on that as his day one promise, right? Like he had to do it, and he did it in the worst possible way with zero preparation, with zero, right? Like um Obama was getting involved in various foreign conflicts and fucking them up spectacularly, right?
Yep.
Weakening the political situation of the US the entire time. So you get to Trump and you go, all right, so what has Trump been doing? Well, for one thing, he's avoided a lot of wars that people have wanted him to get involved in, and he hasn't done it. And you go, oh, but he got involved in Venezuela. Right. Again, Ben and I actually have at least a minor disagreement here in that, again, I look at it as like, I don't think that this was a justified thing for him to do. Yeah, at the same time, it's like, if you're going to do it, the way that Trump did it is the best way to do it, right? It's a black ops decision where he kidnapped the president. And then you go, okay, well, like nobody died who was American. And it's like, oh, but it wasn't really moral for, we weren't doing it for moral reasons. Okay, yeah, but Maduro was clearly a dictator. So,
Right.
like, nobody thinks he wasn't a dictator. So it's like, how mad am I really going to be? It's like, would I have done it? No. Would any other president have done it this effectively, this quickly, and yet they would still get involved, right? Think of like Bay of Pigs, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Trump did it and got it done in like one day, right? Now we go to Iran, and it's the same sort of thing where you'd be like, oh, Trump attacked Iran. That's the worst. Right, okay, but he killed the Ayatollah on day one, right? Would I have done it? Do I think it's the right thing to do? Again, no, I don't. But at the same time, when you're asking me to judge this, it's like, okay, well, when George Bush went and attacked Iraq, a much weaker country, this isn't what happened, right?
Right.
He didn't handle it the way that Trump, amazing image. Anyway, he didn't handle it the way that Trump was handling things, right? Like, he wasn't doing it in a way where it's like, we're going to bomb the shit out of them. We're going to cut off the head of the snake as quickly as possible. And we are going to try and end this as fast as possible with as little boots on the ground as we can. Now, Trump's taking a lot of heat for going, yeah, some people might die, right? Like, unfortunately, that's just the way war goes. And I think that the heat is somewhat deserved in the sense of I don't think that he should be doing it at all, right? At the same time, it's also like, again, you have to be comparative here. When Bush did this with Iraq, when all of these, when Obama, when like you have friggin' Benghazi under Obama, or Obama funding, giving guns to drug cartels, as Kursova reminded me, right? Doing things like that. Like, how many more people have died as a result? That doesn't make what Trump is doing. They go, oh, but he's doing it and it's unconstitutional. Like, brother, the Constitution has not been interpreted in this way since the 40s, right?
Yep.
Like, I do think that this is the wrong interpretation of the Constitution, but no president, nobody who you want, no, not that guy, right? No, not him either. Not your ideal president. None of them would interpret the Constitution in this way if they were in office. It's the same thing that Jefferson was like, I won't make foreign deals, and then the Louisiana Purchase fell in his lap, right? I'm talking Ron Paul wouldn't do it. It wouldn't happen. If you think it would happen, you are naive to the point of like retardation, right? There is no president who is going to completely reinterpret the office in that way. Nobody has that moral courage. Again, it's like Jefferson saying that he doesn't think the president has the right to make deals until the Louisiana Purchase drops in his lap.
Yep.
Ron Paul can say what he wants, but when he's in the situation, you got to make a decision right now. Ron Paul's going to make that decision.
And it's like it's weird. So it's like, from my mind, it's like, I don't know why God is giving us such blessings when we spit in his face constantly. It is an expression of God's love that I cannot comprehend. I literally do not understand it. Like, the predestination crowd will say, oh, it's because we support Israel. Well, I read the Old Testament. I know what God was saying about Israel when they were doing things like aborting children by making them pass through the fire. Like, it's there are things God hates, and I'm pretty sure top 3 is, like, well, actually no, he hates a lying tongue, proud heart. Like, there's the 7 deadly sins, as we say, but it's like, the murder of children as an expression of the 7 deadly sins has to be up top, top 3 at least. Like, it's like, the how do I want to put it? Like, it's very clear that we have had victory in war, that we have not deserved. But then when Biden was around, Afghanistan, went back to normal pretty damn quick. So it's like there's still like this cosmic justice that God does work that we can see, but at the same time, it's difficult to um sort of look at this in a spiritual means. It might just be real politic and God's letting the heathens rage and the people play it out like normal style. Um, it's like the people who started the Iran war was not us, it was Israel, quite frankly. They've been stumping it for it since I was a child. Since Y2K in Afghanistan and the Iraq War, I remember when they had like this is the axis of evil: Syria, Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan. Before we started invading Afghanistan and then we invaded Iraq and so on and so forth. Now, it's not going to work out as well because Iran seems to be one of those, Persia, in whatever form it takes, seems to be a nation that God is preserving across the thousands of years because there's always been something of a Persia the second the land was civilized. Um, it's been its own identity that is preserved even through things like the Muslim invasions and the Mongol attacks and stuff like that. The 600 plus year war with Rome, where they destroyed each other's, stuff all the time. Like it's clearly has something that's going to be preserved all the time. But at the same time, it's like, okay, so are we winning the war? Are we not winning the war? Well, actually, it only happened Friday night when the markets closed. Why in the world are people having opinions about it? It's like people talking about the war with Ukraine. It's like no, like for one thing, it's very clear that Putin hasn't put out his best units or his best troops, and even if he were, like the fact is that he's only ever really gained land, slowly but surely. He surges and then retreats is not the same as a wholesale route out of the battlefield. Um, it's like people are at this point, like I can only assume that they're just testing tech. It's like people going, well, if China does this, we'll lose to China. It's like, yeah, sure, hypersonic missiles are scary and they're very strong. However, China is a lot more corrupt and delicate than everyone says. Russia is famously corrupt. China is also famously corrupt. You know what that means? It means that whatever strength they project, it's weaker than what they say because if they were as strong as they'd say, they'd be bolder because they know that it's there and they won't like randomly come across an empty munitions warehouse that was sold off to a weapons dealer to line a general's pockets, right? Like it's like there's all these different opinions going on there, but in reality, when you look at it from like a real politic lens, even from a spiritual biblical lens, in the end, it's all the hand of God blessing different people and bringing forth different things in different ways. The Maduro capture, if should have gone a lot worse. But in the end, some of the soldiers didn't fight. The only ones who really fought were some rando guards and the Cuban mercenaries who were weirdly close to Maduro, which always says to me when I read that stuff in history, they were a corrupt Praetorian guard. He couldn't trust his own men. Like it's one of those things where it's like, you look at history, you realize that this is actually nothing new. Like we're just entering into an open period of the American empire where the power is open, the war is open, you better do what we say. The unfortunate thing is that Trump hasn't suspended American elections, so Democrats have a chance to take power and ruin it all. Because I bet you that if China like actually lobs a nuke at us, which they won't, but if they do, they wouldn't retaliate by destroying the Three Gorges Dam, which would destroy China. Like it would set dominoes in place. The amount of industry that's along the floodplains held back by the dam, and money and house and wealth is just insane. Like it would be like nuking LA and New York at the same time. That's
Mhm.
how bad it would be. So it's like all these things people are talking about. In the end, what's the real politic? What's the realness of it? I don't need predictions. I know fundamentally that one, America hasn't properly fought in a war since we invaded Iraq. We've only ever done small squad engagements, which means our NCO corps is buff as hell. Uh, like, and like the wokeness is only really for the top generals and some of the famous media figures. I know some of the head, like, not, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say I know of some of the deep thinking types. They're not liberal. They're the type that would skin a man alive if it would help the war to win. Like it's like, but they're not put up in front, right? They're just kept in the back where they can do actual work. Like there's all this different things that people say, oh this, oh this, oh this, oh this. Welcome to the American Empire. We say nigger now. Have fun with that. Like it's like we're not doing the woke nonsense anymore. We're not doing the oh no things anymore. Like it's a new era. Like the age of Aquarius is dawning. There's a blood moon, don't you know, in a couple days. There's like we're actually exercising real muscle and not like bullshit muscle. And it's like, well, it serves Israel. Who in the world can Israel go to? Well, they can go to Russia. They're not going to go to Russia. They can go to China. China refused them back in the early aughts. Well, they still control us. They literally have no other choice but to rely on the American Goyim. If we stop supporting them, they can't refill their Iron Dome. They can't get into the international markets nearly as well as they say they can. They won't get the support of the outside Jewish population nearly as much as you think they will. Like it's like there's everyone has a bad opinion. Maybe my glorification of the American Empire, Lockheed Martin, Sama, my beloved, uh, uh, Boeing, my beloved. Maybe I have a bad opinion on that too. But it's like I don't have any other explanations for it. It's the American Empire. It's been the American Empire since the 70s, and now things are changed, and we say slurs now. Or we don't say slurs out of politeness for the people around us, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, and we're in the final minute, so I'll just say my last piece quick. I agree. Basically, what I'm saying is like Trump's really just doing what other presidents have done, but he's being competent, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really the big difference. And like that doesn't mean I like that we're the American Empire. I think we should be the American Empire, but I'm like, my dude, you're judging Trump harshly for just being better at what other presidents have done and frankly being less bloodthirsty and less like bad at it,
Yeah.
Now, and then you're going like, oh, but he hasn't completely overhauled the way that America does business with the entire world. Yeah, that's true. But like, I'm sorry, your expectations were too high if that's what you were hoping. I
Mm.
was never fooled for a second that that's what would happen. This is why, like, when I talk with boomers about it, and then they go like, "Do you what? So what are you thinking?" They're excited about everything. I was like, "No, I'm not excited about it. I don't think it was a good idea. I don't think he should have done it." But at the same time, where I'm going like, "Oh, but are you happy that the Ayatollah's dead? Sure, he's a bad dude. Like,
Yeah.
but
He murdered a whole bunch of people. Like
yeah."
he should die for it.
Well, I will not weep for him. I suppose you could say a quick prayer in hope that God miraculously changed his heart at the last second, but doesn't seem likely. You know,
Mm-hmm.
odds are quite low.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not really. So it's like I don't really know what you want me to say about this. It's like, oh, so you don't think? Isn't it great that the Ayatollah's gone? It's like, no, I think that that's going to have less of an impact than everybody thinks. At the same time, again, like Trump is acting like I really think President Polk is like the best comparison. And if you talk to historians, he's always rated very highly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I would say that Trump is honestly ruling quite a bit like Polk. I think the Jackson comparisons aren't quite right. I think Polk is better. Um, Polk was an expansionist, and but Polk was very good at it. And it's the same sort of thing that Trump is doing. It's like, have there been L's that Trump has had to take? Sure, there have been some, but there's been a lot more victories. And him going like, oh, you got to be outraged by him. It's like, no, he was never going to rule the way that I would have wanted because I don't want America to be an empire, and Trump does not agree with that. And frankly, most of America doesn't. Most people don't. I am in the minority, right? Like, you
Mm-hmm.
got to understand the online people. When Dr. Professor Phaser writes, like, clearly the war in Iran is not just, it's like, yeah, I agree with you, but there is not a US president who wouldn't have done this if they didn't have a shot, but would have bungled it like horrendously. You're judging Trump on things that really like you're judging him on a much harsher standard. And you go, oh, but I would have called them out too. Right, you would have, but you wouldn't have said like this man is, has betrayed the people. Like he hasn't betrayed
Mm-hmm.
shit. He has done way, way less than any other president would have done.
Yep.
Way less. I understand he mocked Obama and went like, oh, and I reposted it too because I do think it is kind of funny where he's like, oh, Obama's going to attack Iran now and he's going to do it to salvage his coal numbers. Yeah, you know what the difference is? If Obama had done it, which he didn't because he realized it wouldn't have worked at the time, the situation wasn't right for it, he would have
Right.
gotten us embroiled in a forever war. I don't
Yep.
think this is going to happen here.
He actually would have been stupid enough to have a land invasion of Iran, a country surrounded by mountains, which is like so. Back a little bit of history, real quick. I don't have to leave immediately at 8, but I have to be quick. Uh, Iraq had one of the best Soviet militaries in the world. They bought everything shiny from the Soviet Union in exchange for oil. That's why Saddam Hussein was always such a threat. And he was a threat, except, it's us. If it wasn't us, he would have been an actual threat. Where he tried to invade Iran for years and years and years. Many people died. Millions of Iraqis died. At least a million. But it turns out all they had to do was block off the mountain passes, bunker everything, and then he couldn't get his armor through. He couldn't get his soldiers through in any good situation. Like, do you think we're going to do the same? And Trump is smart. He's like, we're just going to bomb everything, and the people better be able to handle it, better be able to rebuild. Like, yeah, I'm actually okay with that. I'm actually pretty okay with that. You know what I mean?
Right. It's a completely ridiculous standard because you're going like, oh, it's so, he entered the reason Obama didn't enter a war with Iran. It's very simple. The opportunity did not properly present itself.
Mm.
He absolutely would have. It has nothing at all to do with the fact that, like, oh, Obama didn't do it. Obama was a butcher. He was
Yep.
Obama is an evil man. Like, this is manifest and obvious if you actually look at his record. Right. Like,
Just
and then
on
this idea like, oh, but Trump did it and Obama didn't. Right. Yeah. But as an accident of history, you know,
Yep.
like the fact is that Trump has been less bloodthirsty. This idea that like, oh, he attacked Iran, he broke his promises. He did. And I agree with like, I wouldn't, again, that's one of the reasons actually that I wouldn't have done it. But the fact that he did is like what you're missing here is that he's still doing it in a way more limited way than anyone else would have and accomplishing way more as a result anyway because he's flexing he's doing it. Honestly, there are parallels to the saga of Tanya the Evil here. He's flexing his muscle in like, you know what, we have bombs and superior technology, let's use it instead of getting embroiled in 1,000-year wars that don't lead to anything because oh, we want to be nice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, we don't want to use it and like draw the ire of the fucking UN or something. Like,
Yes.
anyway, that's the end. You got to go.
Yep.
That was fun. I enjoyed Ahoy. I'll probably pick it up for my own house.
Yeah. And it's like if there's any interest, drop us a line, tell us we'd like to hear more about the global American empire. Like there's things we can talk about it that is interesting because it's more than just, a single issue. Like in reality, if you would have gone to the Byzantine courts with the knowledge you have today, you would have been like, okay, I know about the Forrest family, and forth family, and I know about the Daiko family, and I know about the the Belisarius family or whatever, um, Focus family. But in reality, you would have seen 50 different families competing with like 3 or 4 major families, which each had their time in the sun. Like, just because the wokesters are in power today doesn't mean they'll be in power tomorrow. And frankly, they're so incompetent uh, that the only thing they can do is basically legislate them to victory, themselves victory, which unfortunately leads to the idea from our side, the actual side that has hard men, for the children that are coming up to the next generation, that in reality they could just ignore the laws because it's designed to help them, and they would be right to do so. I want to thank you guys for listening. I also enjoyed Ahoy. We might do this again sometime soon because I think I liked how it changed the pace of the conversation. And do check us out in the future. Um, I have been a little confession time. I've been lazy and I have not worked on Pinkerton's Ghost like I should. I'm not even going to promise you guys that I'm going to work harder at it. I am trying to do things and reorder my life, just like Anthony is in his own way, but he's farther along in it than I am. So I will try to have another episode up very soon, but I am making no promises and I'm telling no lies. Thank you guys for coming. Next week we might have Kursova on or something like that to talk about.
Ooh, cool.
That will be fun. We'll schedule it with them.